A portion of this video is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. For more information about Sheath Underwear, visit the link in the description or wait till the end of this video to hear more from me. Yesterday, Donald Trump, and this isn't one of those clickbait headlines that you see where Donald Trump humiliated. Donald Trump was humiliated yesterday on a global stage in the White House, sitting next to Emmanuel Macron, the president of France. Donald Trump started telling his whoppers, his lies, his conspiracy theories, it's not stretching of the truth, it's just making up shit whole cloth. And in the middle of his lie, he was interrupted. Macron, I believe, if I remember the clip right, puts his hand on his knee and says, "Oh, pardon-moi." I'm going to have to interrupt here. I'm going to have to correct the record here. This guy's a fucking liar, and I'm going to tell the truth. And then the big, tough, mighty Donald Trump that you see all the time attacking people online demurred. Weakling. He's all shifting uncomfortably, pouting as Macron tells the truth. Now, you're likely to see Donald Trump attack Macron. Maybe he already has. I don't know. I don't go to his Truth Social all the time. But in the moment, he could not. Oh, he's too afraid. He's too weak. He's too feckless. He's too ineffectual. He's too insecure. Even though he's the president of the United States of America. So when the attack eventually does come, remember when he had the chance, when he was face to face, he could have been the mighty alpha male that he always claims to be, but he did not. He failed. He crumpled. He melted. He folded. He retreated into himself. I'm going to play that clip, but first I'm going to play this clip. And this is Lawrence O'Donnell last night, who gave historical context of exactly what we're witnessing in real time right now. We are living history. Every day you're living history, but this is history that will go down. There will be volumes written about what is taking place right now in the United States relative to the march of fascism. There are parallels in history that point us to how to behave, how to resist. And I hope we're listening. I hope we're watching. I hope we're paying attention to those parallels. Watch Lawrence O'Donnell from MSNBC. Look, I don't watch a lot, admittedly. I don't watch a lot of cable news at all. It's not just Lawrence O'Donnell. I don't watch a lot of it. But occasionally something takes place, something is said, history is covered that you should pay attention to. And this is one of those moments. I'm going to play this clip, and then at the end of it, I will play the moment where Donald Trump is just a weakling. I mean, just an embarrassment. It's not just him being humiliated. We were humiliated yesterday by what took place. And it wasn't Macron who humiliated us. He humiliated Trump. I'm being humiliated by my inability to speak right now. We were humiliated by Trump's lies, by his needing to be fact-checked in real time by a fellow world leader. First, though, watch Lawrence O'Donnell from MSNBC.
Since Russia invaded Ukraine exactly 3 years ago on this day, the United Nations passed 6 resolutions against the Russian attack on Ukraine. And the United States voted with the free world against the Russian war on Ukraine every single time until today. The United Nations once again today approved a resolution condemning Russia's war against Ukraine, and for the first time in history, the United States did not stand on the side of freedom in the United Nations. The United States, for the first time in history, voted with the dictator against the free world. Donald Trump voted with Vladimir Putin in the United Nations, and so it's official. It really is. As of today, if there's a leader of the free world, it is not the President of the United States. It might be the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, who played an important role in presidential history today, making Donald Trump the first president in history who had to be interrupted and corrected by an ally when the president of the United States was lying, and lying about that ally. General Charles de Gaulle, who became the president of France after World War II, may have been the most egotistical elected president anywhere in the world. Winston Churchill and Franklin Roosevelt couldn't stand de Gaulle during World War II. But they knew they had to deal with him, and they never had public disagreements with General Charles de Gaulle. Emmanuel Macron may be one of the least egotistical French presidents in history, but today it was the mild-mannered French president who had to interrupt the blustering president of the United States when the president of the United States was lying. And it fell to the French president to correct the American president in a way we have never seen an American president corrected before by another head of state or by anyone.
And not just the correction. It's in the White House, in the Oval Office. The president was kneecapped, correctly so. And again, Donald Trump acting uncomfortably and squirming and insecure, not a bold, mighty leader he claims to be. He wants you to believe. He's convinced MAGA he is. He'll wait until afterward to criticize or attack Emmanuel Macron. But this is the moment. Macron stopped him, abruptly interrupted the President of the United States. I don't know why it gives me so much joy, but it does. Because Donald Trump, we have gone from supporting democracies, trying to export democracy as a foreign policy standard for the United States, to supporting dictators and despots. We are now allying ourselves with the worst of the worst around the globe, abdicating our role as the leader of the free world. And it's at the behest of Donald Trump inside of a month of him taking office. It's a different America. It's not my America. Here's Emmanuel Macron stepping up in the absence of leadership inside the White House, the home and office of the President of the United States.
Compensated, but not by Ukraine, by Russia, because there was a one to aggress.
Again, just so you understand, Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank, we paid 60% of the total effort, and it was through, like the US, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money, to be clear. We have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, Russian assets, but this is not as a collateral of a loan, because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day, in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be loan at the end of the day, and Russia will have paid for that.
If you believe that, it's okay with me.
Mr. President,
if they get their money back, we don't, and now we do. But you know, that's only fair.
Mr. President,
there will be more of this to come. This humiliation for the United States. And again, it's not Emmanuel Macron who's humiliating us. He's humiliating Donald Trump. He's not even humiliating the presidency. It is Donald Trump who has done that. In the absence of leadership, there is a vacuum, and it must be filled. And fortunately, there are adults in the room. This isn't just about personalities. If it was that, I wouldn't be talking about it. It's about abdicating our role, our influence, our interests for whatever it is Donald Trump thinks he's doing. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can click below and comment. That'll help the algorithm to share this content with possible new subscribers, new viewers at the very least. That would be fantastic. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Please consider supporting this work if you want to help me produce these videos and reach the millions, sometimes tens of millions of people that I do every month. that would be great. I would appreciate it very much. You can click the join button below for $1.99, become a channel member, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I'm all over the social medias at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there, and I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another. I talk nearly every day about how divided we are as a country and the havoc that this division wreaks. But not all divisions are bad, right? As a mathematical concept, for instance, division allows you to split things into equal parts, allowing for equal shares. Division of labor has, for thousands of years, allowed humans to evolve their efficiency and specialization when working on certain tasks. And you can ask any kid to tell you that dinner is far better when the meat is divided from the veg. And what's more annoying than when you're sitting at a cramped table or out in the humid weather than having your meat smashed into your two veg? Is the meat and veg metaphor working here? It's time to divide and conquer with Sheath. Sheath makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I have ever worn. Regular boxers are just too loose and bunchy and not great. And briefs are just a smush fest. Sheath are the solution. Head to sheath.com and use promo code Dollemore to score 20% off and upgrade to the most comfortable underwear you'll ever wear. I'm wearing a pair right now, and indeed, that may be all I'm wearing under the desk here. But really, sheaths are the only underwear I wear. Absolutely fact. Their testicular tech features dual pouches to keep your mane apart from your sides. More dinner metaphors. Note, if you're not into the division for some reason, you don't have to use the dual pouches at all. Just throw your sheaths on like regular pair of underwear and you're good to go. Also, Sheath's stretchy fabric is super soft and made with moisture-wicking technology to keep your president and his cabinet cool and comfortable throughout the rigors of the day. I love my sheaths all the time, but they are particularly clutch in the sticky heat of DC summers, which is basically like 9 months out of the year. They were invented by a U.S. Army veteran while serving a tour in Iraq. The idea for sheath came from discomfort in harsh environments. As a former Marine stationed in that part of the world, I get the inspiration. The airflow meshes are my personal favorite, but Sheath has tons of excellent styles and designs. Pick a pair and Sheath will hand them to your doorstep nearly instantly thanks to blindingly fast shipping and amazing customer service. Also, Sheath supports multiple charities like Socks for Soldiers and Doctors Without Borders. So with your purchase, you're making the world a better place too. Upgrade your undergarments, score 20% off right now when you head to sheath.com and use code Dollemore. Divide and conquer your discomfort with Sheath underwear.